The Grafton Monster is one of West Virginia's many cryptids and is a large humanoid creature said to reside in the forests around Grafton. But what is the Grafton Monster and where did it come from? To answer this, we need to first look to the real-world accounts for this creature. In the real world, the Grafton Monster is claimed to be a large bipedal creature with no visible head and is covered in slick, white, seal-like skin. It is approximately 7 to 9 feet tall and about 4 feet wide. The first known sighting took place in 1964. Around 11 p.m. on June 16, 1964, a reporter for the Grafton Sentinel named Robert Cockrell was driving home from his office. He was driving alongside Riverside Drive when he rounded a wide curve and suddenly slowed down as his headlights hit a huge white obstruction on the right side of the road. It was standing between the road and the riverbank on a cleared-off section of grass. Upon realizing that the white obstruction was a living creature, he quickly accelerated down the road until he got home. Robert then called 2 of his friends and searched the same spot in the road but could not find the creature or its tracks. Only the grass that it stood on was crushed. As they decided to head back, they heard an odd, low whistling sound coming from the direction of the river. No matter where they went, the sound seemed to follow them. On June 18th, Robert posted his experience in the Grafton Sentinel in a small article, which quickly spread and caused a large amount of concern and excitement among the population. Shortly after, a large monster hunt gathered to search for the creature. More than 20 other sightings were reported from that monster hunt. This caused the authorities to respond. Due to the large number of people bringing loaded weapons into the area, the police began their own investigation. The next day, on June 19th, the Grafton Sentinel printed another article dismissing the monster as simply a result of spring fever. The newspaper stated that the monster was an individual pushing a cart loaded with boxes alongside Riverside Drive. The result of the investigation was met with skepticism by Robert and many others. Robert took his story to writer Gary Barker. Gary was also a UFO investigator. He was convinced that Robert's experience was legitimate. Gary wrote a paper on the story, but it was never put into any publication. The Grafton Monster is deeply entrenched in West Virginia legend and folklore. To this day, it remains a source of mystery and intrigue. It has even been featured in a television show called Mountain Monsters, titled Grafton Monster of Taylor County. It has also been lovingly nicknamed the Headless Horror. In Fallout, this cryptid was created as a result of FEV testing. Pre-war, there was a radio show called Tales from the West Virginia Hills. The episode is titled The Beast of Grafton. We find the first holotape inside the Grafton Mayor's building behind the counter on a shelf.
Welcome back, dear listeners. It's time once again to put aside all you think you know, all you believe to be true. Time to open your mind to the strange, bizarre, and sometimes terrifying world that exists in the shadows and fringes of our own, where myth, legend, and rumor are made real. Yes, it's time for more thrilling Tales from the West Virginia Hills. Tonight's episode, The Beast of Grafton, is brought to you by Dandy Boy Apples. Apples so good they never go bad. And remember, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. That's Dandy Boy Apples. Fresh, delicious, and dandy every time. Pick up a box today. Our tale begins in the rural hills near Grafton, where locals have reported a strange creature lurking in the woods. Robbie Cockrell and Peggy Mansfield were out on a date, celebrating Peggy's birthday. A full moon loomed large as they drove.
Robbie, you're going too fast.
Don't worry. This nuclear roadster handles like a dream.
Where are you taking me anyway?
I told you, it's a birthday surprise.
Way out here in the woods? There's nothing this far out of Grafton, except that hospital by the river. Wait, I bet we're going to that new drive-in over in Clarksburg, right? Just so you can show off your slick new hot rod.
Ah, come on. Don't be like that, Peggy. I just thought the driving would be romantic.
Oh, Robbie. Robbie, look out!
Peggy? Are you okay? Peggy?
Yeah, I'm okay, I think.
What happened?
There was a huge boulder in the middle of the road. I tried to warn you, but it was too late.
Look, in the road. There's nothing there.
How could that be? I saw it plain as day in the headlights. And just look at the front end. It smashed right in. I mean, it didn't just get up and walk away. What was that?
Probably just a wolf.
It didn't sound like a wolf to me. There it is again. Whatever it is, it sounds like it's coming this way.
Look, those lights by the river. That must be the hospital. We can get help there. Come on.
Ow! My foot. I think I hurt it in the accident. Look, I'm bleeding.
Everything's going to be okay. Here, lean against me. There you go.
Will our two lovebirds survive such a harrowing ordeal? Tune in next time for the thrilling conclusion of The Beast of Grafton.
The second tape is located in the voting tent on the south side of town near the high school.
Tonight, we bring you the final chapter of The Beast of Grafton. When last we left off, two teenagers, Robbie Cockrell and Peggy Mansfield, were running for their lives after a harrowing car accident, trying to escape a frightening creature stalking them.
See? You're doing great. Just like when we won that three-legged race in the park. We're almost to the hospital.
Oh no. There it is. I see it. Coming out of the woods.
It's bigger than a bear.
And look, it has no head. It's just flesh and muscle and claws. Robbie, it wasn't a boulder we hit. It was that thing.
It's okay. We're here. We made it. Door's locked. Hello? Anyone in there? Help us!
My, what's going on? Who are you?
Please, doctor. There's been an accident. My girlfriend's injured.
There's something after us. A monster in the woods.
Oh, a monster, you say?
I know. It sounds crazy, but I hit it with my car and...
I see. It's just you two?
Yes, it's just us. Oh, won't you help us, doctor, please?
Of course we'll take care of you, my dear. Do come in. Come in.
See? I told you everything was going to be okay, Peggy. Doctor, are you going to call the police about the thing outside?
Well, all in good time, son. First, let's have a look at the girl's foot. Lie down on this table here.
Is it bad, doctor?
Nothing we can't fix right up. I think a little shot should do the trick.
Ow!
What's that shot for?
I told you to fix her.
Doctor, my arm's starting to tingle. Is that normal?
Oh, yes. Quite normal.
Ow! It's really burning now.
Oh,
monsters are yours?
Why, of course, though monster is a gross mischaracterization of the extraordinary advancements in evolution we've achieved here.
My whole body's burning!
Evolution? I don't understand.
Oh, you will, my boy. You both will.
Who are those men with guns? What is this place? Hey, let go of me!
What's happening? I feel so strange.
Wrong way here.
Tonight's gruesome tale taught us several things. You can't always trust a good Samaritan. Be cautious when driving through the woods near Grafton. And birthday wishes don't always come true. Be sure to tune in next week for another thrilling chapter of Tales from the West Virginia Hills.
You can also get both tapes by finding the issue of Tales from the West Virginia Hills magazine, which is randomly placed throughout the world. As we all know, the FEV testing that took place in West Virginia was done at West Tech Research. So this is our next stop. Heading inside the facility, we need to go to the Advanced Mutations Lab terminal. Reading the terminal entry labeled Report Test Subject AM53 102377. Based on the success with AM52, we are confident in tweaking a few genomes for FEVS-006458. Unfortunately, the subject grew too large to contain. The containment unit broke. But AM53 was unharmed. Indeed, despite this and its apparent lack of a discernible head, subject AM53 was surviving its metamorphosis, far exceeding our expectations. Since our containment units were insufficient to hold the subject, we had to arrange for immediate transport off-site under sedation. Follow-up visits to AM53 will be scheduled for observation and recording. AM52 was the creation of the snallygaster, and building on that strain, the scientists at West Tech were able to create the Grafton Monster. As this took place just before the bombs fell, we know that no follow-up visits were going to take place. In fact, the transport never even made it to the other containment facility. We don't know where this other facility is, but we do know where the transport ended its journey. Heading back to Grafton, there is a bridge near the end of the rail line with a tractor-trailer wrecked across the bridge. On a rock next to the driver's side front wheel, there is a holotape.
Damn it, it's this thing. Okay, it's recording. OJB here, and you would not believe what I'm seeing right now. Yeah, I'm sitting here driving this truck, and what do I see ahead but a sky full of... Well, there's these streaks of light like nothing I ever seen. Oh boy, howdy. It's majestic, like shooting stars in early morning light. Only I ain't never seen them in the morning like this. It's like a rocket streaking through the blue sky, or like... Oh, shit, is that nuclear? Oh shit, it exploded. Oh, damn it, I was staring right at it. Oh, blind! Shit, I can't see!
So, AM53, or the Grafton Monster, escaped after the driver, blinded by the nuclear blast, crashed into the bridge, Could there be another West Tech facility nearby? Let me know what you think in the comments below. There is one more terminal that mentions the Grafton Monster. Heading to the mire, we find the Hunter's Shack, where Shelby O'Rourke has her cryptid terminal set up. The first entry that we find that mentions the Grafton Monster is in the journal section. Reading the entry, good news, bad news. I got my first hit last night and I'm mad as hell for missing it completely. If I hadn't panicked the moment I saw the alert, I might have at least caught a glimpse of something. Running around like I lost my God-given mind. On the bright side, I did go back down and took some casts of what might be a Grafton tracks. I suppose it's not a total wash. Next time, Nessie and I will be ready. That entry was written before the bombs fell. So did she really find Grafton tracks? Possibly. Remember, this creature has been thought to exist for quite some time. It is also possible that it was some other creature. We may never really know. We find the next entry under the Cryptids category labeled Grafton Monster. Sightings? 0. Descriptive traits? Very large, both in height and girth. Potentially no head. White seal-like skin. Evidence log? Recent footprints found at the beta site. Took casts and photos. Locomotive sounding call. Possible train in the distance? Unsure. This entry depicts the information gathered from both legend and the possible sighting from the previous terminal entry. There are no other entries for the Grafton Monster. The Grafton Monster has several spawn locations and variants that can spawn as well. It will spawn at the Charleston Train Yard, east of the Charleston Capitol Building, and south of Hemlock Holes. It also has a chance to spawn at any of the various random encounter locations throughout the map. There are several events that will spawn the Grafton Monster as well. It will be a guaranteed spawn for the Grafton Day event.
This is Grafton's Mayor with a priority message. It's Grafton Day! Again! The Grafton Monster and his robot handlers are on parade. Friends, everyone loves a parade. Well, not the Grafton Monster. He gets grumpy. That's why he has handlers.
It has a chance to spawn as the Alpha variant in Project Paradise. During Meat Week, if you complete the Primal Cuts event in the Toxic Valley, the final boss will be the Grafton Monster. It also has a 1 in 6 chance to spawn as the cryptid for the daily event Queen of the Hunt. Finally, if you side with the raiders during the Wastelanders questline, when you get to the quest The Old Weston Shuffle, you will battle through 3 rounds of combat in the arena at the Watoga Civic Center. In the final round, you will have to defeat a leveled legendary Grafton Monster in under 3 minutes. Well, that about does it for the Grafton Monster. Have you run into this creature in your playthroughs? Where do you think the West Tech transport was going to? Let me know in the comments below. I don't know where the transport was headed, but I do hope that Bethesda adds this location in the future. Now that we have fully explored the lore behind this cryptid, I would like to read your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, consider giving it a like, subscribe, and share this video. As always, I'm just glad you stopped by, and I'll see you in the next one.